The message came exactly 10 minutes ago. Not 10 minutes in breathless, heartbeat-pounding minutes ago, when the world tilted and something long buried clawed its way into the light. The notification didn't look like much at first. Just a trembling headline on a gossip blog nobody took seriously anymore. Yu Menglong's secret son revealed, DNA proof uploaded. For 3 seconds, nobody cared. By the 4th second, the internet exploded. Screenshots spread like wildfire, documents stamped with hospital seals, blurred photos of a young boy standing beside a man who looked eerily familiar, and a video clip, just 3 seconds long, of Yu Menglong turning his head sharply toward someone off camera and saying, "Don't let him see me." And just like that, everything changed. Rain poured heavily across the city, the kind that blurred headlights into long streaks of gold. Inside a dimly lit apartment, a laptop screen flickered as the video looped again and again. A young journalist named Lin Yue leaned closer, her eyes narrowing. "That's not fear," she whispered. "It's guilt." The video wasn't new. It had been taken years ago, during what was supposed to be a quiet charity event. No one had noticed anything unusual back then. But now that people were looking, every movement felt loaded with meaning. The way his shoulders stiffened. The way his voice dropped. The way he refused to turn fully toward the camera. And most importantly, the way someone small, barely visible in the corner, reached out toward him. Lin Yue paused the video at the exact frame. There it was. A child's hand. Reaching. Waiting. Unanswered. Across town, in a luxury penthouse high above the chaos, Yu Menglong stood frozen in front of a floor-to-ceiling window. His phone buzzed endlessly on the table behind him, but he didn't move to pick it up. He already knew. The truth had finally caught up. His reflection in the glass looked older tonight. Haunted, almost. For years, he had built a perfect image. The calm actor. The composed public figure. The man with no scandals, no shadows. But shadows don't disappear. They wait. And tonight, they had returned. A single message flashed across his locked screen. "You have 24 hours before everything else comes out." No sender name. No number. Just that sentence. And beneath it, a photo. A boy. About 10 years old. Standing alone. Holding a drawing. The drawing was simple. A stick figure man. A stick figure boy. And between them, a large empty space. At the top, written in uneven handwriting, "Why won't you come back?" Lin Yue's fingers trembled as she scrolled through the leaked files. Birth records. Hospital bills. Photos taken secretly from a distance. Everything pointed to one undeniable truth. The boy existed. And more importantly, Yu Menglong had known all along. "This isn't just a rumor," she said under her breath. "This is a story someone tried to bury." But why? That question lingered like a storm cloud. Why would a man at the peak of his career hide something like this? Unless there was more. The next leak dropped exactly 3 minutes later. A voice recording. Distorted. Broken. But clear enough to understand. "You promised me he'd have a normal life." A woman's voice. Angry. Hurt. "You said no one would ever know." Silence. Then Yu Menglong's voice. Low. Defeated. "I did it to protect him." The recording cut off abruptly. But it was enough. The internet erupted again. Protect him from what? In a quiet suburb miles away from the flashing lights and rising panic, the boy sat alone in a small room. The television in front of him showed the breaking news headline on repeat. He didn't blink. Didn't speak. Just watched. As the world finally learned about him. A woman stood in the doorway, her arms crossed tightly as if holding herself together. "They know," she said softly. The boy nodded. "Is he coming now?" The question hung in the air like a fragile thread. The woman hesitated. Then looked away. "I don't know." Back in the penthouse, Yu Menglong finally moved. He picked up his phone. Scrolled through the chaos. Every platform. Every headline. Every accusation. The truth was unraveling faster than he could contain it. But what shook him the most wasn't the exposure. It was the timing. 10 minutes, he muttered. Why now? His answer came almost immediately. Another message. This time, with a video attached. He hesitated before pressing play. The screen flickered. Then stabilized. It was an old recording. A hospital room. Dimly lit. A woman lying in bed, pale but smiling weakly. And beside her, Yu Menglong. Younger. Nervous. Holding a newborn baby in his arms. His voice cracked as he spoke. I'll take care of him. The woman's smile faded slightly. You promise? A long pause. Then, I promise. The video ended. Yu Menglong's hand trembled. He hadn't seen that footage in years. He thought it was gone. Destroyed. Buried like everything else. But someone had it. Someone who knew. Someone who had been watching. Waiting. Lin Yue leaned back in her chair, her mind racing. This wasn't just a celebrity scandal anymore. This was something deeper. A story of promises broken. Of secrets hidden. Of a child left in the shadows. And someone pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Her phone rang suddenly, jolting her. Unknown number. She answered cautiously. Hello. A voice responded. Calm. Cold. You're looking in the wrong direction. Lin Yue's heart skipped. Who is this? You want the truth? The voice continued. Then stop asking why he hid the child, and start asking who forced him to. The line went dead. Rain slammed harder against the windows. Thunder cracked across the sky. And somewhere in the city, a secret far darker than anyone expected began to surface. Yu Menglong grabbed his coat and rushed out of the penthouse, ignoring the chaos behind him. He had one destination. One person he needed to see. The only person who still mattered. The car sped through empty streets, tires slicing through puddles as the city blurred past. Every second felt heavier. Every memory sharper. He remembered the night everything changed. The threats. The fear. The impossible choice. He had told himself it was the only way. That staying away would keep them safe. But now the truth was out. And safety no longer existed. The small house came into view. Dim lights glowing through the curtains. Yu Menglong stepped out of the car slowly, his heart pounding louder than the rain. He stood at the gate for a moment. Frozen. Afraid. Then, the door opened. The boy stood there, looking straight at him. Time stopped. No cameras. No headlines. No noise. Just two people. Connected by blood. Separated by years of silence. The boy spoke first. Are you my father? The question hit harder than anything else. Yu Menglong swallowed. Tried to speak. Failed. Then finally, yes. The boy didn't smile. Didn't cry. Just nodded slowly. Why did you leave? Yu Menglong's chest tightened. Because the truth was worse than the lie. I thought it would protect you. From what? Before he could answer, headlights flooded the street. Multiple cars. Black. Unmarked. They stopped abruptly outside the house. Doors opened. Figures stepped out. Lin Yue's words echoed in his mind. Start asking who forced him to. The boy stepped back. Fear flickering across his face. Who are they? Yu Menglong's expression darkened. They're the reason I stayed away. One of the figures stepped forward. Clapping slowly. Well, he said with a cold smile. What a touching reunion. The man's face was unfamiliar. But his presence. Terrifying. You really thought this could stay hidden forever? He continued. Yu Menglong clenched his fists. What do you want? The man's smile widened. Simple. He pointed at the boy. We take him, and everything goes back to normal. Silence. Heavy. Deadly. Yu Menglong stepped forward. No. The man tilted his head. Careful. You've already made one mistake choosing him once. Yu Menglong's eyes hardened. No, he repeated. This time. I'm not walking away. Thunder roared. Lightning split the sky. And in that moment, the truth became clear. This was never just about a hidden child. This was about power, control, and a secret so dangerous, it had to be erased. The man sighed. Shame. He raised his hand. The others moved instantly. But before they could act, sirens screamed in the distance. Police cars. Dozens. Closing in fast. The man's expression shifted. For the first time. Uncertainty. Lin Yue stepped out from behind one of the approaching vehicles, her phone raised. Live broadcast, she announced loudly. Millions watching. The man froze. Everything is out now, she continued. The threats. The cover-up. All of it. Yu Menglong looked at her in shock. You. She gave a small nod. You weren't the villain in this story. She glanced at the boy. You were just trapped in it. The sirens grew louder. Officers surrounded the area. The figures in black hesitated, then slowly backed away. The man lowered his hand. His smile gone. This isn't over. Yu Menglong met his gaze. It is. The man turned, walked back to his car, and disappeared into the storm. Silence fell again. But this time, it was different. The boy stepped closer, still unsure, still cautious. But you stayed, he said quietly. Yu Menglong knelt down, eyes filled with something raw, something real. I'm not leaving again. The boy hesitated, then slowly reached out his hand. And this time, Yu Menglong didn't pull away. Somewhere in the distance, the storm began to fade. The headlines would keep coming. The questions wouldn't stop. The world would want answers. But for now, none of that mattered. Because 10 minutes ago, a secret was revealed. And in its place, a broken promise finally began to heal. Not just one secret, but hundreds. Suddenly, a noise behind her. She froze, slowly turned. The same man stepped out of the shadows, clapping. Again. Slow. Mocking. You really should have stayed out of this, he said. The live stream chat exploded. Millions watching. Millions witnessing. Lin Yue didn't run. Didn't flinch. Now they can see you, she said. The man smiled. Seeing isn't the same as stopping. Back in the station, Yu Menglong stood up suddenly. I'm done answering questions. You can't just. Yes, I can. His voice was sharper now. Stronger. Because if you don't act now. He pointed at the screen. They'll erase her too. Silence. Then. Movement. Police units mobilized. Sirens roared. And for the second time in less than 24 hours, the truth was about to collide with power. Inside the building, Lin Yue took a step back. The man took a step forward. You've caused enough trouble, he said softly. But this ends now. Behind him, more figures appeared, closing in. Lin Yue tightened her grip on the phone. If I go down, she said, voice shaking but determined, I'm taking everything with me. The screen cut. Static. And the world held its breath. Back at the house, the boy whispered to himself. Please, don't disappear too. The sirens grew louder. Closer. Faster. And somewhere between truth and silence, between power and exposure, between fear and courage, everything was about to break.